Hey, feasters! Welcome to episode 257. And if content is king, then context is queen. Getting into the head, the mind of your potential clients is the key to your content. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. And every day should be about your clients and the content to your clients. But before I get into that, if you have had any sort of revelation or eye-opening or aha moments with the Ask Rezzz episodes that you've heard, I'd love to hear about it. Head on over to iTunes, rezzz.com/iTunes, and leave me a rating and review on the show. Reading those is a highlight of my day because I then now know that you received some value from what I'm doing here. As I'm sure you can appreciate it, producing a podcast or a daily show, in fact, requires a lot of work. And when I see a review where someone has mentioned that an episode, a single episode, or a single sentence in a single episode has made an impact in their business and in their life in some sort of way, it brightens my day. It shows, it keeps the fuel in this engine to keep going, right? So if you've had any sort of aha moments, I'd love to hear about it, or just how you consume the show. Sarah, she shared that she grabs a cup of coffee first thing in the morning and listens to the show. So let me hear those kind of stories. I really want to know. Head on over to rezzz.com/iTunes and drop it in there. It also helps in the show being discovered by other people, right? They look at the ratings and reviews and see if it's a show that they're should be listening to. So if you give a aha moment that resonates with somebody else, you're also helping them. So let's dive into the show today, right? And episode 257, right? In episode 256, where do you find your freelance clients? We talked about those watering holes, those places where your clients come together to talk business. Well, today's episode goes a little deeper into that topic to talk about the context and the intent of your client at these watering holes. For me, the human behavior part of this equation is what I'm fascinated most by. I'm not the first nor the last person that you will hear talk about context when it comes to marketing. In fact, it's the very first personalization that was done in advertising and marketing ever, right? It's why restaurants put their side dishes next to the entrees in their menu. They don't want you to forget about the potatoes and veggies when you order that steak. So they're going to put those sides right there front and center. They're not going to put it on the last page, right? They want you to see the filet mignon that you're about to order, but also then go ahead and see the asparagus and baked potato. Ad platforms these days put context on steroids because we have more information at our disposal about someone than ever before. We can target a specific employee at a global company in a certain town that has a hobby of whitewater kayaking. But what do you do with that information? Often you're going to jump all over that by pushing an ad out that will come and appear to them to sign up for your service or book a consultation, free or otherwise, or something of that nature, right? And all of that is fine to do. But they may be looking at photos of their niece's dance recital. That's not really the most opportune time to pitch your abilities to build them a new website. To make this even more concrete, in the case I mentioned yesterday, we spoke about the medical industry, right? Well, you're not going to walk up to a table of 10 doctors sitting around ordering that steak and potatoes, right? You're not going to pitch them, even though that's where they are in the moment, right? If content is king, then context is queen. with regard to the last episode, getting into the head of your client and then understanding the context and the intent of them in that specific setting can increase the likelihood of success of your strategy. So in the context of my previous employer, right, when I was doing the full-time work at the medical design firm, they bought booth space at events that specifically spoke to marketing, technology, and business growth in the medical industry. At events that were smaller or not specific to the mindset where the doctors and organizations would be thinking about their website or marketing, well, they would still be there, but in a different way. The sales team would be there to build relationships, set meetings up in the future with clients, but also set meetings up with leads at the event that they were already had ongoing conversations with. But there wasn't a big push for sales. Ariel, the urbanist, and I'll link his website up in the show notes, but on a podcast, he shared some insights into his strategy on this. Now, he's a guy who does these elaborate Facebook Live, like 3, 4, 5 hour Facebook Lives where he's in a city and he tells the story of the city, the history and the landmarks and all of these things, right? Well, his objective was to land gigs with big travel brands and online publications. Instead of creating ads pitching what he did, instead he created specific content that he normally would, but then targeted those key individuals with the company that he wanted to work for so that he was sure that his content would be seen by them. Then, when those individuals were looking for the type of content that he does, he would be front of mind with them. He admitted that he couldn't directly connect a job to a specific ad this way, but he did admit that he got work from some of the brands and companies that he targeted. In your case, if you're looking to inject some personality into your brand, how about creating a piece of content that's centered around you and your family, or your mission as a business to help a charity, or why you are in business for yourself, and then put that piece of content as an ad in front of your ideal clients while they are looking at those recital photos. It may not get that click, but if you do it consistently, when that person who is extremely family oriented is looking to redo their website, best be sure they're going to remember that they saw something about a designer who was playing with their kids talking about websites, and then go look for you, not Wix or GoDaddy. If you have a question, ask Rezzz. Find me on Twitter at Rezzz or head on over to AskRezzz.com. And while you're there, join in on the conversation. Click that Apply Now button and come on to the show, and maybe I can help you find your clients. Until next time, it's your time to live in the feast.